What's going on, guys? It's your boy Sam Paddy Projects, and you join me again for another video on the Civic Type R. So in this video we're going to be fitting a splitter kit to the Civic Type R. Now I've got this splitter kit for under £100, which I think is an absolute deal. It's all universal gear, it's all eBay special, but I thought it was worth a punt, and we're going to see how good it looks on the car. Without further ado, let's jump in, let's get it done. So let's get the front splitter unboxed and let's have a look at what kind of shape it's going to take. Okay, cool. So we have it in place. I mean, it's not 100% straight in place. Let me just move that a little bit. So right about there is where it's going to go when we remove the old Amazon special rubber lip. But what I've noticed is it is far too long when it comes to the wheels, but that's all right. We can do some technical adjustment on that front. Even if we just bring that back a little bit, get the Dremel out and cut it, then it should be relatively in place. Like, I'm quite glad for a universal splitter, but that's the thing. The only thing is we're gonna have to get the measurements right. So if we look at it there, pop it over. Oh, too much. Yeah, I think we can balance that out and even it out pretty nicely, to be fair, because it's just about, because if we look at the wideness there, just from where we lined it up, wideness there, it does look all right. But yeah, enough of the waffling. Let's get the car up in the air and get this splitter on. So with the car jacked up, we can then line up the splitter, but not before using cable ties as a belt. So I used my car ramps just to line up where the splitter was going to go to mark out the middle point on the splitter. Lining up the sides, and because they were touching the wheel, I had to chop a little bit off. Safety first. Okay, cool, here's where we are. So we've marked the middle line, which is 45 centimetres, 450 mil either side. So if we come round, so the cut that I've made is just not touching the wheel now. So it was going to about here, so I've taken that much off. I'm probably going to go to about here because the cover that goes on the side, I want it just past the lip, so I want it just here. So I'm going to work out where my cut needs to be, which is here. But first, before I do that, we're going to have to make sure that the other side is the same. So I'm going to cut this side to the same length as the other side, offer it up, see where we're going, and hopefully get it all straight. Because what my plan is to get that middle line directly in line with the middle of the Honda badge. So it's the line in line with the Honda badge thereabouts. So now what I need to work out, now that it's in place, is the distance from here to here, basically from the body to the edge of the splitter. So what I'm going to have to do is measure both sides. Yeah, you can already see that one's out by a huge lot. I'm going to work out, get that in place, and once that's in place and it's level, I'm going to attach the middle straight away and then detach the sides and then cut them to size to fit this here, that bit there. So let's go. So with a little bit of adjustment, I managed to get it pretty even. And then it was time to put one self-tapper in the middle just to hold it in place. So what we're trying to achieve here is we want the end of the splitter from where we're going to make our final cut to line up with the inside of the cover that slots over the top. So the final cut has been done. So there's where we're sitting on that side. Now we have got, it's tiny, it's a little bit out compared to the other side. So that's, I think there's about that much in it. But to be honest, I am no perfectionist. It looks sick. Let's get this bolted up proper. And with a few final measurements just to make sure it's even, I went nuts with the self-tappers. I used more than I care to mention. So I had a bit of working out to do. So as you can see on these struts, they have nuts and bolts, and to basically bolt it onto the bumper, you'd have to take off the bumper. So I'm going to improvise because I don't want to have to do that. So what I'm going to do instead is I've taken this part off, the bit with the bracket on this one, as you can see here. And what I've done is I've put a screw through this side. So I'm going to mark out where this goes on the bumper and then just use a screwdriver and just screw it in. And hopefully that looks tidy, but we'll have to see. So let's send it. So I lined up the struts of where they should be and marked out where the brackets would connect to the splitter and the bumper. Then I pre-drilled the black screw into it and then tightened it in by hand. I was in the dark against it all, but made it through the day, 'cause I found my way. I found my way. In bad times, I know I'll be okay. And I've done the same on the other side, just working out where I'd put the brackets on the other side using a measuring tape. So the front splitter is now on. I think it's looking absolutely crisp. I love it, but rice all nice, let me know in the comment section. But yeah, let's get on to the side skirts and the rear spats. So with quick unboxing and inspection of parts, it came in 3 parts that just click together. And the same drill again with the same self tappers. And it was far too long, so I had to go back to the Dremel and take a bit off. So we got the side skirts on as well. I'm not 100% convinced with this because the finish on it just looks a bit, I don't know, if there was like a little cap or something to go over it, it would look a little bit better. But follow it along. It's got that nice little flare at the end, but I'm not 100% sold on this. I know I'll be okay, 'cause I found my way. So as you would have seen there, the rear spats, they don't fit 100%. Now I'm sure I could cut them down to size and make them fit, but I do think they're a little bit too long, and for what would be protruding out the back of the bumper, I don't think it's worth it. We might go for a diffuser modification in the future, or we might even go for a whole different bumper, depending on what I can get my hands on and what makes sense. But one thing we forgot to do was put the front canards onto the front bumper. So let's jump straight in, let's go and do that now. And these were self-adhesive, so they went on nice and easy and mirrored the same thing on the other side. Now with all of that installed, only one thing left to do. Let's take a proper look at the car. So the splitter kit has been installed with the side skirts, with the canards. I need to get new rear spats because, like you saw in the video, they didn't really fit too well. But with the splitter kit like this, because it's the eBay special, I think for this car specifically, it's perfect. I mean, it's a Cat S car. It has some damages on it, but I think if you had a really clean example, I don't think this is the way to go, because with the eBay special stuff, you know, it doesn't fit 100%. It does give you the look, but you'd rather go with a Maxton design or something that was specifically bespoke for the car, because if you're going to be drilling holes in your bodywork, you want to make sure that it's there permanently. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this, but at the moment, for what I'm doing with it for track, I really like it, so it's staying. But if you've liked what you've seen, like, share and subscribe. It's your boy Sam Paddy Projects, and I'll catch you on the next one.